CBS 60 Minutes released a statement accusing Donald Trump of being a liar after calling him out for releasing an interview with two answers to the very same question. Let's talk about it. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about CBS 60 Minutes releasing a statement calling Donald Trump a liar for pointing out how they released two answers to the same question from a Kamala Harris interview. Now, we're going to get to the video in a minute in which you can see how different the answers were. Now, it's pretty clear what they did here. They put out one version of the interview. We all saw it. Like, I saw it on social media. I was retweeting it and everything. There was an answer about Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, and the first answer was word salad at best. The second answer wasn't that much better, but it was a little bit better. Now, some are going to say, well, ABL, they always edit interviews. Things are always taken out, but that's not really what happened here. What happened here is that one version of the answer was released. It was on the internet. I saw it. It had millions of views. And then, in my opinion, when they saw how negatively people were reacting to that answer, they released another answer. I've never in my life seen such a thing. Look, editing a video, editing whatever, okay, I understand. But you do that before it gets released, not let it sit for a day and do kind of an A/B test. Oh, well, that didn't do well. How's that going to do? This is totally crazy and not in my lifetime have I ever seen it before. Now, before I go any further, let's get to the actual question and answer in question. All right. And then we're going to get to the statement from them in which they centered it around Trump, calling him a liar. But really, all of us who saw this and have a pair of eyes in the brain, we're saying the same thing that he did. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
But it seems that Prime Minister Netanyahu is not listening.
Well, Bill, the work that we have done has resulted in a number of movements in that region by Israel that were very much prompted by or a result of many things, including our advocacy for what needs to happen in the region.
But it seems that Prime Minister Netanyahu is not listening.
We're not going to stop pursuing what is necessary for the United States to be clear about where we stand on the need for this war to end.
So here's my video that I was talking about it. I'll link to that in the box. Shout out to my Instagram and TikTok people. But you saw that there was two different answers to the question. It's two different answers. Now they're going to say, oh, we just made it be more succinct. Okay, but look, you released both. You put out both. We have both. That is something that I have never seen before. Now, here's a statement from them. Okay, let's get into the statement. They put this out on last night, 7 p.m. Let's check it out. And there's no video, there's no nothing. It's a statement. So check it out. Former President Donald Trump. See what they started it with? Immediately getting into Trump. So it's kind of like you kind of got Pavloved, right? You hear that bell, you just want to react right away. It's the same thing. President Donald Trump. Oh, that must be the reason why there's controversy. So whatever the controversy is, if Trump's behind it, that must mean that it's not really serious. So that's how they start. Former President Donald Trump is accused 60 Minutes of deceitful editing of our October 7th interview with Vice President Kamala Harris. That is false. Now, you know what's false is framing it as if it's just Trump. I'm saying the same thing. Millions of anybody with a pair of eyes in the brain can see what y'all did. But anyway, 60 Minutes gave an excerpt of an interview to Face the Nation that used a longer section of her answer than on 60 Minutes. Same question, same answer, but a different portion of the response, a different version of the response. Because let's just say, for example, I'm not saying this is the exact length of time that the answer was. Let's just say, for example, for math's sake, let's say the original answer was a minute and a half long, minute 30 seconds. And then they cut the answer down to 45. They cut it in half, cut it down to 45 seconds. You can say it's the same answer. It was just edited to give more clarity or whatever. But when you release one part of it and then another part, I mean, come on. Whatever you release to the public should be what the public has. But anyway, when we edit any interview, whether a politician, an athlete, or a movie star, we strive to be clear, accurate, and on point. The portion of her answer on 60 Minutes was more succinct, which allows time for other subjects and a wide-ranging 21-minute long segment. Now, what you're saying here is that you had to edit what she said because it was not clear and succinct, right? So you're admitting that she needs your help to come off clear and succinct. This is why I don't like to tape stuff. So you can't say, whether it be Trump or Kamala, that anyone was helped or hurt by the editing process. Let's have an interview and do it live, which is why I was so upset when they did the interview with Tim Waltz, Tampon Tim, and it was taped. I'm like, why not just do it live? Nobody's heard from you. You don't do any press conferences. At that time, she was kind of like being on the low. You're not doing anything. Why not do a live interview? Anyway, remember, Mr. Trump pulled out of his interview with 60 Minutes and the vice president participated. See, now, what's that got to do with why is the editing practices of your network, why does that have to involve a person who's not involved? You're framing it as if it's Trump. Oh, yeah. If you say Trump, they'll just leave it alone. No, we're not going to leave it alone. But anyway, our long-standing invitation to former President Trump remains open. If you would like to discuss the issues facing the nation in the Harris interview, we'd be happy to have on 60 Minutes, blah, blah, blah. So they spent quite a bit of time talking about Trump here. Okay, this is a short statement. Really, it's about 3 paragraphs, although there's 4, but really maybe 2 or 3 kind of just with spaces. And throughout most of it, Trump is the subject. So you already know what they're trying to do. It's a diversionary tactic. Make it be about somebody else other than what the actual issue is, which is us. It's you guys over at MS-13 DNC. You guys are the problem. You guys are the reason why people are suspicious of the media. Because you do stuff like that, and then you try to gaslight and say, oh, well, nah, it's Trump. He's just making up lies. You put out one version of the answer, and then a whole different version that sounded way different was put out. If you're going to edit answers, if you're going to edit the interview, whatever footage you release to the public should be consistent across platforms. It's simple. Whether it's Face the Nation, 60 Minutes, it should be the same. If they're going to chop it up, as I close, I want to say this. The answer started with something that was totally different than the other answer. And if you didn't know any better, the second one would be the only one that you know. You wouldn't even have heard the word salad at the beginning. This is really crazy. And I know for certain this same privilege would not be given to President Trump. It would not be given to him. Any kind of thing they could find that'll have him slip up or whatever, they play it in full. So again, my thing is, let's do the live interviews. We could get past all of this. We don't got to worry about editing. We don't got to worry about nothing. Just do it live and we're fine that way. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? Do you think that they were in their editing practices deceptive, trying to fool the American people? Or is it just regular editing? It's no big deal. I mean, we gave one version to one outlet and another one to another outlet. There's no problem to have 2 answers to the same question from the same interview released to the public. Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. This is of no surprise to me. This is just what happens. This is what they do. Try to blame somebody else. Orange man bad. It's Trump's fault. Yes, we put out 2 versions of the same answer on the same interview. But, it's Trump just trying to make us look bad. It's Trump trying to, and by the way, Trump didn't want to come. Trump. Orange. That's all I hear, rather than having any kind of accountability, rather than admitting you're just trying to help your person, Kamala, succeed in the election, although it'll be in a futile effort. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.